The sun dipped behind the jagged cliffs of Black Ridge Canyon, painting the sky blood orange. A dry wind whistled through the twisted pines as Cowboy Ridge Maddox tightened the saddle on his tired stallion, Dust Storm. He had ridden 3 days without rest, chasing a rumor no sane man would believe. Some folks in the nearby towns whispered about it in hushed voices. A giant bird, taller than 2 men, with golden feathers and a voice like cracking thunder. People said it guarded something ancient, something forbidden. Ridge never cared for myths. But this time, everything was different. His younger brother, Luke, had vanished 3 weeks ago. The last place he was seen was near the cliffs. And the only clue he left behind was a torn scrap of fabric with a single feather, huge, golden, and warm even after days. Ridge wasn't chasing treasure. He was chasing the truth. And his brother. As Dust Storm trotted near the canyon entrance, a deep rumble echoed between the rocks. Ridge froze. The rumble grew louder, heavier, closer. Suddenly, the ground trembled. Then it appeared. A colossal bird, its wings casting a shadow wider than a barn roof, landed in front of him. Its feathers shimmered like sunrise, and its sharp eyes glowed amber. Ridge slowly dropped his hand to his revolver, but before he could draw, the creature spoke. Its voice was rough, like wind scraping over stone. "Cowboy, you're going too deep." Ridge's heart slammed in his chest, but he held his stare. "I ain't turnin' back," he said calmly. "Where's my brother?" The giant bird tilted its monstrous head. "Alive, for now. But the place you seek is not meant for humans." Ridge stepped forward. "Then you'll just have to stop me." The creature's wings flexed, scattering dust like a desert storm. For a moment Ridge thought it might attack, but instead, it lowered its body, revealing deep claw marks on its side. It was injured. "Who did this to you?" Ridge asked. The bird hesitated. "The same ones who took your brother." Ridge swallowed hard. "What are they?" "Shadows," the bird whispered. "Men who live beneath the canyon. Men who are no longer men." Ridge's jaw tightened. He had heard stories about gold hunters who went mad mining the forbidden caves. He never believed them, until now. "If you want to find Luke," the bird continued, "you must go down into the Underhollow." It pointed its beak toward a massive crack in the canyon floor, black as midnight, breathing cold air. Ridge clenched his fists. "That's where I'm going." The giant bird's voice grew desperate. "You're going too deep." Ridge mounted his horse, eyes on the darkness below. "I need to reach the truth," he said steadily. "No matter how deep it is." Dust Storm snorted nervously as they descended into the narrow crack. The world grew darker with each step, the only light the faint glow of crystals embedded in the rock walls. Ridge could hear water dripping, echoing endlessly. Strange markings, symbols he didn't recognize, were scratched into the stone. Some looked fresh. Some dripped with something darker than ink. After what felt like hours, Dust Storm stopped trembling. Ridge dismounted and followed a faint trail of broken chains on the ground. Then he heard it. A voice. Weak. Hoarse. "Ridge." His blood froze. "Luke!" Ridge shouted. He ran forward and found his brother tied to a pillar, bruised but alive. Before Ridge could cut him loose, a low growl rolled across the cavern. Ridge spun around. From the shadows stepped 3 massive figures, humans twisted by the darkness of the Underhollow. Their eyes glowed sickly green, skin stretched thin like dried leather. "Shadow men." One of them growled. "You were warned, cowboy." Ridge drew his revolver in a heartbeat, but the shadow men moved faster, surrounding him with unnatural speed. Just as one lunged, a deafening screech shook the cavern. The giant bird crashed through the ceiling, scattering rock everywhere. Its wings glowed fiercely as it attacked the shadow men with blinding speed. Ridge grabbed Luke and cut the ropes. "Can you walk?" Luke nodded weakly. "Barely, but Ridge, why'd you come all the way here? Ridge smirked. Because you're my brother. And because I don't leave family behind. The battle raged behind them. The bird fought fiercely but was weakening fast. Ridge knew they had little time. He pulled Luke onto his shoulder and ran toward the exit, but one of the shadow men leapt in front of them. Ridge fired. The shot echoed, but the creature barely flinched. It lunged again, and was suddenly impaled by the bird's talons. The creature let out one last roar before collapsing. The giant bird landed heavily, one wing dragging. Its breathing grew shallow. Go, it rasped. Leave, before the hollow swallows you. Ridge grabbed Luke tighter and hurried toward the crack they came from. They climbed for what felt like forever, until the sky reappeared, a wide, beautiful stretch of starlight. They stumbled out onto the canyon floor just as the dawn broke. Luke collapsed, exhausted but safe. Ridge looked back at the crack. A final screech echoed from below, then silence. The great bird had sealed itself within the under hollow, sacrificing its own escape to protect them. Luke looked up weakly. Ridge, what was that thing? Ridge gazed at the rising sun. A guardian, he said softly. One the world misunderstood. Luke frowned. Will anyone believe us? Ridge shook his head. Some truths ain't meant to be believed. Just remembered. Dust Storm neighed as if agreeing. The brothers mounted the horse and rode toward home, leaving behind the canyon, the darkness, and the memory of the giant bird who warned. You're going too deep. But Ridge had answered with the courage only a Maddox brother could carry. I need to reach the truth. And he did.